So, do we all know why we're here?
No.
Really?
No.
Here it is. You're supposed to tell me. Right here. So we basically, it's the next step, Jeff, fill me in where I'm wrong. Next step, we have to figure out how we want to proceed and with the project. You know, we've been approved, and I think that's where you're at, right, Jeff?
Right, so we've been working the past several months on funding scenarios. We received $400,000 from ARPA. We have some already voted in bonds and voted another $5 million in revenue fund authority. We've applied to the state revolving fund, and which we would be eligible. I think we have to look back. 6 point some million was our application. So part of that would be loan, would be eligible for some grant, local affordability grant, and a water quality incentive grant. We've also submitted an application to CDBG for $750,000. So we'll be hearing from the SRF folks, getting the ball started, rolling on what they call the due diligence questionnaire. That's all financial information. That's what every client will help assist with. Before you can do that, you need some financial information from the city. So your income statements that Crystal has, all of which is finalized, will get him. But in order to meet all of these deadlines, we'll need to get the engineering started. And that's, so we know we have the deadline on the ARPA funds. That work has to be bid and awarded by this time next year. Then in early 2024, we've been told by the folks at DNR that if there are cities or awardees that have not made that level of progress, they're going to start bypassing. So we want to be in position to take that money because we're first on the list. So I think that's the most pressing thing right now is just to get the design started. We've already started. We've already started on the engineering. We've had folks at the plant here, electrician, electrical engineers, and so forth. So we proceeded in good faith, but we do have the contracts approved and everything from the state. So as soon as the city acts on those, then officially get started.
So do we need to vote on those? Is that what you're saying? We need to review them and vote on the contracts?
Yeah, and that was brought to the board at the last meeting.
We have it
For next month?
We had it on there, we had it, we tabled it.
Okay.
So we've got this. So I'm just going to say,
Is this it?
That's what we're for.
my biggest worry is that
What's in the email?
$8 million is like a lot. For a city's annual budget is $1.2 million. So are there any other options that we can cut back on? They'll still get the same, I mean, obviously we have to meet the levels that we in our states and everything else. But there's, that's a lot of problems.
It is a lot of money. Unfortunately, your plant's in that position right now from not having been worked on and upgraded in years past. It was $8 million, but the application we submitted, we already had $1.5 million. It's a $6-something million application. But again, we're not planning on borrowing $6 million.
I understand that.
So,
but the problem is what happens if we approve this plan and we don't get the extra.
So you're not locked in. So all this does is get the ball rolling on the design. So we have a year's worth of work to do in order to get to a point where we can bid the work. So you have all the opportunity. What you've done right now with SRF is file an application for consideration. So you haven't committed to borrowing anything. They haven't committed to any grants or anything like that at this point. So all that
Even if
work is
they're approved, we would still have to, like, accept it.
Accept it, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done between now and you actually want it.
Okay, if the timeline's getting crunched too, do we have any options when it comes to that?
So we have to take the steps necessary to get to the point of making those decisions, and that's where the design comes in. So we have to do the design before we can get to the point where we can know for sure what it's going to cost. All of the information that's going to come out of the SRO due diligence questionnaire, those are going to have to be the financial questions that DNR has for the city, to make sure that you can afford to pay it back. DNR is not going to loan you too much money at the point where you can pay it back. Because, I mean, it's their bank, essentially, so they want to make sure that they're able to pay it back. And they also, the grants are structured to where they know they have some level of affordability based upon the rate structure. So that's when the grants start kicking in more. Both the CDBG grant and the affordability grant, that's almost $8 million per grant there.
I did have a question, seeing some of the emails that go back and forth. What was presented to DNR, and then they sent it to an innovation committee, and they came back with, to me, quite a few questions for, I mean, is this something kind of new and novel that we're trying to do?
The chemical itself is different than what the majority of the chemical disinfection uses. So instead of using a chlorine and then a second step of dechlorination, it's this parasitic acid that is used. And it's relatively new in Missouri, but it's been used throughout the United States.
Is this ultimately more cost effective, or?
It's more cost effective, that's why we recommend it. Yeah. You're only buying one chemical. It's easier for the operators to do. You only have one, instead of chlorinating and then dechlorinating, you only have one chemical. You're not worried about the fish kill. If you don't get enough dechlorination in there, you're going to kill fish. That's another violation of liability.
Well, I guess I was just surprised that they were coming back with such detailed information that they were wanting on this innovative idea. Is it in general just newer?
It's new, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just like anything else, you're always looking for better ways to do something. It's not something that we don't
Wow.
learn before we see it.
I was like, they were just like, let's try it.
Yeah, there's a couple cities in Missouri that do use it.
They do, and it's just, once it just takes a period of time to demonstrate. And that's really all they're asking. They're just setting it up for a demonstration period. And which all the testing that they talked about, they're going to be doing anyway. We had to do that regardless, because you're going to want to be zeroing that dosage now so that you're not wasting chemicals. So you want to be testing to know that you're getting the appropriate kill.
Effective but efficient.
Exactly. So all that testing that they're asking for is something we recommend in all operations over there.
So you're doing the name of that?
Parasitic acid.
So now, I know you said if you get too much chlorine, you can kill the wildlife in the water. Is there any way to get too much of the parasitic acid to kill the wildlife in the water?
It's a lot more forgiving. Yeah, I mean, it's samples.
It can be diluted more, I guess, or,
So
Vinegar and hydrocarbons.
okay.
So ideally, I think this is what we talked about, they'll have a meter drop, right? So basically, you will have the parasitic acid in the shed, so to say, it'll go in chloric. Disperse it, yeah. That's good. But it should be pretty hands-free other than checking it, basically.
Yeah, it's equipment. I mean, it has to be maintained and so forth. And I guess the other point to make is everything that you're building to use this parasitic acid, you'd be doing the same thing if you're using chlorine. So if for some reason you don't like it or it's not as effective as we thought, then you switch to chemicals. You have the tankage there, the chemical feed pumps, everything else, all you do is change it.
And the parasitic acid is on for alpha too. So we're not going to discharge the outfall too all the time.
It's only when, yeah,
What
what,
weather
That's,
that was just, I wanted to ask because it seemed like they were, what is this?
yeah.
I don't know.
So in Ken's response, if you read through that, and that's what he shared with the board and group, he cited all of the data that's out there. In the real world, it's not theoretical, I mean, it's real applications that are cited there.
And that doesn't have any impact on approval of anything. Like, they're going to be okay with it.
Yes, they're just saying, here's the,
Okay.
provide this documentation, which we've done now. It's that we're gonna have to write that plan that says, do this testing. And what they've said already, so we just have to write that on the operations plan. It's a lot more intimidating to read than it actually is. That's what I said. Their response seems like a bigger deal
Yeah, it did.
than what it was.
It's like, oh,
and
okay.
what type of demonstration are they looking for? Just
They just want to do the testing every
from the
time.
lab analysis, that's the data they want.
The next steps, we'll go through the design based upon what was submitted in the facility plan. But there's plenty of opportunities for us to have those discussions of, is there anything that we can prioritize and reduce some actions? Before we go out to bid, or even when we bid it, we bid it.
It's not a typical design bid, build thing to the following committee, just backwards, see, so. Typically, two plans, cost of what they both produce the same result, whatever, that's what I'm saying, it's just a little different procedure.
So that's what we've done already in the facility plan, is we've looked at all those alternatives.
Right.
And what we came up with was the cheapest alternative for each of those individual bidding processes. So the headworks facility, how we handle that peak flow, we looked at several different alternatives on peak flow disinfection. That because everything has to go through disinfection. It has to go through a treatment process. So we can't just bypass it around and discharge it. That's the big regulation. Then we have the disinfection regulation too, that we have, that is a schedule compliance on. Some of those, we're just absolutely won't do. Some of them, like the headworks facility, the screening and so forth, you're going to really notice it when you put the UV disinfection on pretty big. All the trash comes through, it's going to get clogged up in the UV disinfection. So what's somewhat outside our mind is going through the plant now, you're going to see a lot of it's going to get clogged up, and it's going to tear the pumps up. So the rest of the work is trying to put your plant in as good a position to operate for the next 20 years, and certainly do it for the fails. Some of it is very close to that.
So this again is all designed off of the current wet weather inflow that we are experiencing. Which I think ideally, the idea was that we could reduce some of that before we had to
So
do,
two things.
then we could build a system to accommodate the updated, smaller wet weather problem that we were having. And I think we probably have had to bypass that or something. I feel like that part kind of got skipped?
A couple of things we talked about, the magnitude of the wet weather problem in the city. This plant is not going to accommodate every bit of inflow and filtration that gets in the system. It's designed to accommodate everything that's given to the plant. So the collection system is being innovated, and we have overflows throughout the city that's not given to the plant. So we have a lot of work to do just to reduce your ion enough so that you don't have overflows in the house in the collection system.
Yeah, have we started that? I thought we were gonna start that. Like, we were gonna look up here at the storm drains and stuff and make sure they weren't going to the treatment
Think
plant.
about that. What's that?
Like, because you said something, you were gonna start up here in the middle of town and make sure these storm drains here aren't going to the treatment plant and try to find a way to get them to like drain someplace else and not go to the treatment.
Yeah. Have we smoked anything? Haven't smoked anything, but the best I can tell, they're for sure going into the creek, these storm drains are. What we done is took the jet rider truck and shot water in.
Oh, like when it was dry and then watch where it came out? Okay.
So I guess to further that, address your question there, if we had a dump truck full of money that just pulled into Dixon, I don't think we can fix enough inflow infiltration to meet the deadlines that we have on the treatment side. As the mayor mentioned last meeting, the disinfection limit was supposed to be a few years ago.
Yeah.
They got extended out.
25, right? I would say
So
do or die.
what are the numbers we're looking at in the rainfall, hey, gallon per day to the plant versus no? Just average, something, not.
So we have a whole report on that as well, but I don't have those numbers I'm talking about. You have a
Is that it?
20
I don't remember.
20 to 30 fold peak. And so-
She's got this Trevor, right? What's that?
It's bad.
Yeah, well, which is why what Stacy said is relevant, because that's what we're kind of hoping, is that even maybe fixing some of this in-house before it came down to.
Spend it on that.
I mean, I still think there's got to be some sort of to get those numbers, even if,
So the treatment plant has 346,000 gallons a day. And those are millions. So
it's a lot. That's why I think it's just right now. I know that is an issue, especially some of them talking about. There's got to be a major source of
smoke testing is really good.
which we don't have any smoke testing. Like, so there's got to be some major sources.
I mean, it could be anything, a cap off of a clean out, gutters ran straight to a.
I've said that before, I'm sure that over there, off of Angela and Bruce, it's a gutter from, because when it rains, that lift station will run for 2 days.
At my house, the drain tile I had was a sewer system.
So I'm sure that all the
The
houses,
60s and 70s ones probably all.
That's what they take care of that water, get that.
guarantee all
Well,
of
they thought
them.
it was
That's the easiest place for it to go.
Yeah, I mean, it was, there's, kind of on my land where I got it bailout out, just barely, 1 inch of fall from the house.
When you smoke it, you'll be amazed at where the smoke comes out.
Oh, you'll have it looking at people, because it.
Oh, yeah.
So, because there's not.
I'm not saying you don't need smoke. I like a lot of reasons. Land,
I just would like to see this. I think it's a shame to build a plant to fit this capacity, and it's such an extreme amount. That wouldn't necessarily fit that capacity.
Or if there was a way that we could up the weight, if there was something that we could do to reduce that capacity.
What about lining?
There was something in there about lining that one of the things I know used.
It's also the whole west.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and then based upon the full agreement that we did in our inspections and so forth, we identified kind of a pilot area of a little sewer shed that was the the worst peaks, but small enough that it was manageable, so you could go in and make some improvements and see what.
I know there was, I saw somebody, you used to bring a company from Florida, come on, manholes and stuff, but now there's, St. Louis has got some, yeah,
so
it's what
it was in situ going, and they had a patent on the technology that since has gone up, so there's all kinds of companies that do that right now. So, and I want to point out to you that the majority of the work that we're talking about in this plan isn't based upon peak flow capacity. So the UV disinfection is based upon your treatment capacity, not how much peak flow is coming in the plant. We're storing that peak flow over the base of the net, and then bringing it back through at a much slower pace than it's coming in. You're still going to be doing that, even, there's just not enough money. You have to replace the entire collection system in order to get down to the point where you would be using that. So I really don't think the expense for the flow that we're talking about is great as or as exaggerated as it would be if we came in and just find out first. Our experience is there's going to be some of those large contributors, but it's going to be system-wide. We've never been in as many of these leads as we have done. We're always hoping that we're going to come in and find that something we've done. Yeah, and that's going to fix all the problems, but generally it's just the deterioration of your collection systems and old materials. Those are the materials they use back then.
From what I've seen, it's in good shape. I know it's not in good shape, but as far as structure, it's there. So I really think we can line a lot more sewer rates because I've came with a few here and they're just dropping in the main or whatever, have them done, but they're not, I've not seen a bunch that was just collapsed or.
How about lateral lines?
What, you mean?
From the house to the main.
If I'm champering them, I'm usually digging them up to fix them, so. Yeah, no, definitely.
So, and I guess that's the other component is that, in the studies that we've done, the systems we looked at, there's much more that comes from the private side.
As far as, okay.
So as it is from the main side.
Yeah,
It's getting 35,
The clay tile that's cracked.
Orangeburg, there's still some Orangeburg, that whole bunch of them, but there's still some. This one is cast iron for police station, it's not shade. There's some trains that are asbestos fibers too, for service lines. Which those are tough.
Is the recommendation to do nothing on the collection system?
What's that?
Is the recommendation to do nothing on the collection system side?
No, it's to continue on. So that's why we focused on this small area, go in and finish doing this plug testing, which we're committed to helping do that anyway. Then go in and line what can be lined. If there's point repairs, make point repairs. When we go through, do the top hat type lining, where you actually go up inside the lateral for a little bit. There's a lot of sources, especially with the clay tile sewer main. They'll take a hammer and they'll knock a hole in it, or they go back down and then stick the lateral in. So it's made a little tar or tar paper or something. So if we do that, you're stopping a pretty good source with that type of line. And then come back and flow test it again and see how we did, see how much progress we made. So that's why I want to do kind of a small.
Do you know a rough figure what it costs per 100 foot to line? I don't have a clue.
I don't have the last few months pricing, but it's usually for an 8-inch main, less than $30 a foot. So
Public try to say
it's way cheaper than what it would be to replace it.
Right. I never knew this,
Especially today's PVC prices. That competition just keeps it coming down.
There's a company for the sewer lines, contract, one of the 400 half-inch holes, I'm not sure how much that's really worth.
Do we have a line diagram on that area to be lined?
Yes.
A line diagram for all?
Yeah, I don't have that report with me tonight, but I can bring it in.
Which, it listed what it was, which, do you remember which area it was? It was like southwest, is that right?
Yeah, so we didn't have very good maps, right?
Right.
So we came in with a map for the system, and then based upon that mapping, we delineated sewer sheds or smaller, we broke it down into smaller areas. So it's called the manhole 24 southwest.
Yeah,
Sewer shed,
I thought,
something like
yeah,
that.
something like that.
Yeah, but let me send you some of that information.
I just kind of curious where it was, like age of the homes there, age of the system, I'm just kind of curious.
Is it in the facility plan?
It's in the engineering corporate collection system.
It was in one of the details, I just don't, I don't even know where it was. Well, I don't know if they have the details, I think, but.
Yeah, it didn't say where that was.
Where it was.
Yeah, it showed up now.
Yeah, reference to manhole number of that.
Like she referenced manhole 14 southwest. Where's that?
Yeah.
All that meant was the pipe that comes into manhole 14 from the southwest. And the area that backs out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not even, okay, when I saw southwest, I assumed it was southwest.
It's just,
Water.
yeah, pipe that
No,
comes in the
yeah, we're
southwest.
that
side of
the intersection.
Yeah.
that manhole.
Yeah, it was something like 4,200 feet, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
How is that typically going? You fill the houses, the whole subdivision, or drain tile, you got drains are tied into the system, is that the city's responsibility to fix it?
You will have, if you don't have your ordinances right now, I tend to go through this SRF process with that ordinance that says that it will be their responsibility. They cannot discharge extraneous spills.
We're gonna have that. I think it's in there,
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna talk about. So it's their responsibility to fix it. So if we smoke test our entire street, we get to go get that installed, versus say we have to fix this.
Just give them Jeff.
Be like, I know.
Let's give them Jeff stuff.
I think that's the best part of it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
tell
it's
me.
looking real good, we're telling them we have to dig all up and.
I'm still like Paul.
Yeah, now. If not, if you want to sell it, just go ahead. Did you ever call him price again?
Yeah.
What,
I was never roughed up, really bad, so I want to that they didn't really have for use black and white, really.
there's another company, another company uses, well, I don't know. Felt like these two for, I never priced anything, like, I'm pricing micro cables from,
Yeah, I just,
So the funds for this task force.
the micro cables up to 100, so I said, without the monitor. So it's
That's the blue one, and it's on the first one.
Call it.
Now, how far that goes.
it's what I never pursued.
My next question, what that includes?
He's a,
Phase one, two, three. Yeah, what does phase one include?
you buy anything up at the field, 24 states. Everything is
So, Jeff, are we approving this phase one? Is that what this task order number 4 is?
It would be all of the phases.
Phase 1, 2, and 3?
Correct. So phase 1 is just what's being funded by ARPA.
Okay. That's what I was gonna say, that sure looks like our ARPA funds.
Yeah. And it talks about it, let's see. Under project description, it talks about what's included in the different phases.
Okay.
So Phase one is the ARPA funds, that's 4,700. We got as small a project as we can come up with for that would be the sludge digester. And that would help you, so you're not having haul as often. And help you with your storage. Phase two is everything that would be included in the SRF application that was submitted. That brings us up to about $6 million. Phase three is to be determined later how to fund, but that's the extra million.
So phase one is just the digester, not PV.
Yeah, it looks like it's in phase two.
First page, so you
Yeah.
and those dollar amounts are consistent with what's in the facility plan and all the funding applications.
This is just for design.
And with that, so it has different phases of design, so we're really committing to design phase A, phase 1, 2. So really just test pool. The rest of it comes, start fitting and get into design, safe construction.
Like on all the construction, you don't do the construction, right? You're gonna bid all that out.
We bid all that out, but what those services are is for all of, it's the.
Yeah, you're gonna tell them what to do.
Engineering phase of construction.
But you pick all the contractors, right?
You pick, we will collect the bids and present them to
Okay.
you.
And then we decide on.
Yeah.
But you'll give a recommendation, I'm sure.
Excuse
Will
me.
you give a recommendation?
We do, absolutely. And generally, it's going to be the low bidder. I mean, it takes.
So lowest bidder is competent.
Exactly, lowest responsible bidder is how the bid documents will be worded. And, you know, if they have shown that they have references or they do this type of work, plant work, we require a level of demonstration that they have successfully built this type of facility before they qualify the bid. But then, you know, we'll go through their numbers and confirm everything makes sense.
This won't be anything more than
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said, it won't be people we know.
No, I won't.
Yeah. It will not be people. But you know what, like, name, like,
Just remember the sort of.
yeah, not that we know personally,
Call them plant.
but like we know from the area.
Those guys
Nobody
are
in this
top-notch,
area.
but then they're small enough that they don't have to be there. This project would be.
I would like to.
Want to kill this?
I'm going to,
Tim, so, no, that's a job.
I doubt there's anything involved.
Probably not. Mag Islands would be their type of project. It would be
it's not curves.
Too small.
too complicated.
You said it, I need to.
Well, I didn't mean that in fact, that's just not the type of work that they
What they
do.
do,
Yeah.
they do like lines and water lines.
They'll do pump stations.
Stuff like
That's
that.
not really, not much. You might get a room built or from kind of west of Jeff City or something, kind of from the north as well.
Yes, so
Who would be the superintendent of all that? Is it the third-party contractor or is it you?
So the contractor will provide his own
like the general,
Is
like
there
in a
separate
construction
QC?
project.
You guys think of QC?
We do ours is, we're just making sure they're building what
What you
the
told them.
plans call for. So they're responsible for their own means and methods.
Yeah.
So they put their bid together and they commit to building what they did, which is what's in our construction documents. We're there to review, because they're going to be buying equipment. We're reviewing to make sure that they're providing you what we told them to provide and installing it for those plans.
So how's the flow of funds? The city pays and gets the funds back?
Yes, so the design, you can either, if you have funds locally, you'll pay for the design up front. Otherwise, you can talk to the county about financing of the design work. And I think you mentioned that, I think that's what we reached out to at one point.
So you mean like-
And then, once we bid the work, then you're ready for your SRF closing. And then that's where, before you get into construction, you'll have the loan and the rest of the funding in place. And then it's a matter of you send in the pay application and show them that this is, and we review every pay application, submit that, and then they transfer the funds to your account.
Do we need a separate account?
I'm sure we would.
It'd be best.
You need to keep.
So we need another bank account.
Totally
We
got it.
probably need to add that
That needs to be passed, yeah.
to this.
Yeah, you just don't want to commingle,
You know, no, that's what. So we need another
No.
bank. And we can close it when it's done in 10 years.
So the ARPA funds that we have right now are 229,000. So we could spend that on the design fee.
Your
I mean, we
local-
have cash in the bank right now.
Local ARPA funds.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. And then you also have the ARPA, the state ARPA funds that will, so that would be available.
The four, or something.
It's 438.
400, yeah.
442. 440. No, we have to apply and get it, but no.
And they have to have the engineering contract.
Yeah.
So they need this before we come back for that.
How much is it?
Yeah.
This does.
So,
Well, he was talking about the first option that they're gonna do. We've got the 442 that pays it back. Like the first design.
show that's for 2 and 3.
No,
Yeah,
the
for phase 1, 2, and 3.
We have for phase one, yes.
We have the money.
But
for
we're gonna
phase
use
one.
part of this for the sludge stuff too, right? Which is, the sludge is not included in any of this. What we were talking about at the beginning, the sludge,
The core committee is paying.
that'll be all separate, and we can use that money to buy that.
It needs two numbers. That's
No,
what
the
we're
ARPA funds would not be for the sludge.
And so we're sitting at 200 some plus 400 and some,
SRF money, would go.
Okay.
ARPA
300
funds
and some.
cannot buy a truck.
Right.
I knew there was something.
Not,
We could use
and not
something.
even, and not even the first ARPA funds that we got,
Can't buy it
it
either.
would not be
Not even
to use.
specific vehicle for a specific purpose. Like, we can only use that truck for sludge, we can't drive around and pick up trash with it or nothing.
You can use your SRF funds for.
For that, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the first phase is $808,000. Or not first phase, I'm sorry, but the design phase is phase 1 through 3. So we have how much in all those funds?
We have cash in the bank right now, 229.
It's 229. And then there was another 400 and something thousand.
We have been approved for 442, but we have to do the work
We have to.
to get it.
We have to approve this.
And we need
To get that.
we need to confirm with ARPA, DNR, if all of that can be applied to the design.
Okay.
or not.
If
Or
it
it's-
can, then we're short $137,000.
That we either need to,
Just to design this system. That's what we need to vote to say yes on, to make this spend. So that happens.
I think you're short, Trevor.
Yeah.
You're
You
short.
said it was,
Because
it's 808,000, that's the total between, for design phase 1 and 2 and 3, 808,000. Then I subtracted the 229,000.
No, because all that has to be done, it's like, by the right, Judge. Look at page 4, like the manuals and everything, I think is all.
No, it would take just the design phase. So item A,
Just A.
then you'll be able, once we get through the design, then you'll be ready to close on the rest of
You're right,
it.
you're right, there, Trevor.
Okay, so it's 137,000. Because that's what, if we vote on the ordinance, say yes, we approve this,
But we have to make sure we get all that from that, right?
that's the other, so it may be more.
And then he says he has to verify you can use the 442 for the design.
And then the other, and this is gonna take, it's gonna take a year to design, so it's not, I'm not gonna send an invoice next week.
Okay, that's what I was, when we have to have it.
Right, so, I mean, it's a, it'll be sent on a invoice.
But we're still committing to spending that.
Yes.
Yes.
It's an obligation.
So we kind of need to have a plan in place. We need to know whether that 442 works for it.
If not, then that's what we need to decide if we're gonna go with the finding. The 113, whether it was realized was used for existing funds.
Not having to do that.
But yeah, they got back, it got listed, 440 is not
250 or
eligible.
300 that we have to spend it
Yeah.
on.
So if we had to go, if we did have to go the route of getting the planning, and then we ended up getting the SRF funds, could we utilize that, the SRF funds to take care of whatever we just did?
Absolutely. If you borrow the money,
Yeah.
then you reimburse yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and it would be structured so that it said it's very clear that you're able to do that.
Okay. It's obviously the hope.
Yeah.
Or I guess if the 440 didn't work for that, the SRF didn't work for that. If we had to go back, if we had to borrow.
Hopefully that. We have the order. This is something we want. This is different.
I don't know. That's the first one that he signed.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah, that was the original. I was just showing that.
I think we have to make an ordinance to enter into the contract.
For task force.
Yes.
This was just referencing back the original stuff.
Yeah, so we
And this we didn't have one.
I don't think that's what one. Yeah, Thomas
So the 5th of June, 2 weeks.
The 12th.
The 12th of June?
10th.
Would you like to work closer to home, nothing?
We have to have somebody certified, right?
Something like
Is it gonna have full-time, part-time?
I'd probably lean on Nathan to give some, he's the one that operates these things, be able to answer that question if it's, but it's more than one person. Job down there.
Weekly equal test. I try to teach Shane some stuff. So far.
What about other options internally? Is there other options internally?
Have the other guys showed interest or wanted to run it?
I wouldn't put much faith in the retired military guys, but they're not gonna stay there. One is, sorry, it's only 5 years lead on, and already got a year and a half of it, too. So,
Yeah, no, he
well, we
doesn't.
don't have time, he's the guy that operates over there.
Is it full-time, what do you think? Is it gonna be full-time guy?
More than part-time.
We have shoot myself in the foot, but yeah. I've got to have some knobs you gotta worry about. Electrical's going to at least double as far as, the lower grade.
Yeah. I mean,
I told
I should
Andy,
go find it, but
he said it's gonna probably be double.
he's just kind of getting started. Andy, electrical engineering. Yeah.
3 separate stations there.
maybe another cost.
There's no system that we could design, where nobody's gonna have to be there. This is,
I had asked about skating. Is that gonna be?
Yeah, we have some level of SCADA, not necessarily control, but certainly monitoring, that you can monitor that remotely from which,
I'm gonna do that for our water center, yeah, we talked about that, so.
to answer your question, short of a lagoon, then no, there's not a technology out there that doesn't require manpower on site to operate it.
I just didn't know like additional
Yeah.
from what we currently.
It's hard for me to say without knowing, what all you're getting down there right now, I just haven't been down enough to know that. But you're adding some facilities, you're adding equipment, pumps that have to be maintained and operated, so.
Right, and process.
You're always going to have that problem where they initially hire somebody to get them trained, they work here, they get it on a resume, and then they move on to a bigger facility, more money. I mean, that's life in a small town. Or they're retired on
There's
there.
not many people that will be easy for that, but
People should look into that.
Not like most people, freaking nurse, no.
there's plenty to be made of it, we don't have anything. But-
Like,
I'm not complaining whatsoever.
Thanks
Wait,
for-
are you saying take a pay cut?
This is your hometown.
Yeah, let's get this
let's shoot your other foot now.
No, but I mean,
We'll switch your name
that's
on
the truth of it. Nobody matters the water side of it, like, nobody wants to do something.
Oh, everybody was lost.
Everybody wants to run, but it's easy, and
Yeah.
sewers make people harder, it takes a little bit of knowledge.
It's more interesting, that way.
Yeah.
I can do it more.
I frankly find it a little bit interesting as well.
Yeah, I like the process, but like going to the plant and actually doing what you do, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'll read about it all day long. I run it all day long.
You sure you don't want to?
Distribution side.
Listen, I don't even handle my own problems at home.
I'm with Mary.
Just keep,
I call somebody.
just keep your mouth shut and it all washes.
And
When I was home, I was forced, my father forced me to help him for a month, not be a plumber.
You just become done, don't you, Joey? Just become done, it doesn't even matter.
Get your shots.
Just don't think about it.
Well, Dad put in sewer lines for Magai for 30 years, in the 70s. So, it
That was
face him.
safe.
He don't even care.
That's all I'll say about that.
He don't even
That's
care.
what it was really. Yeah, that's what it was good, yeah.
Get in the hole. Fish shovel.
I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
look back 10 or 15 years ago, I was in ditches, but I should
Yeah.
I didn't die.
And he was, but did you not?
I didn't die.
No. But he was never sick, you know?
All right. So
We're good?
let's send Jeff and maybe some more.
Okay, and I'll get back with you, I'll talk to ARPA about the 400, see what we can do about it.
To know what to expect.
Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, good discussion, kind of nice to have focused on that, that we can talk through some things.
Yeah.
Got other agenda items.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.